Cool. Hey, everybody.
Hey. I'm like looking at both.
Welcome to the new year. And we're back. Here, I'm just going to be doing this. Okay. Hope you guys are all doing well. And yeah, the new year so far is treating you well and stuff like that too. So we're super happy. It's been a little while since we've been here.
It's been a minute.
It's been a minute. Yeah, exactly. And we're happy too because we've got a little news for you. So we were just talking and we decided that we were going to be doing this every Monday.
Yeah.
So I'm going to have Jade with me every Monday here, and we're just going to be shooting all the information that we have and all the wisdom that we have your way, obviously. So it's super exciting. So thank you so much.
Yeah. This will be nice.
Yeah, it will be nice. Yeah, for sure. So, and yeah, so with that, the other thing too, actually, there's two things. So with Jade also, I know I've mentioned it before, but she is, selling these, the coffees here too. So if you're interested, I'm going to put in the information to her email if you guys want to get it. It's $15.99 for it.
Yep, $15.99 plus shipping. But
plus shipping. Yeah, exactly. So for the information, and again, it's the coffee with I'll tell you the ingredients here. It's the oh my gosh, there's two different types of
do you want me to explain
mushrooms? Yeah, exactly. Yeah, probably
Okay.
you'd be better on that.
I know you know.
Go ahead.
Okay, so the two type of mushrooms that's in it is lion's mane and cordyceps mushrooms. So the grams in the bag is 200 grams, and the equivalent of the mushrooms in each bag is 20 grams of mushrooms. So there's 10 grams of lion's mane and cordyceps in here. So if you've been on the whole thing that's happening on the internet about the craze around mushrooms and everything, is that research has showed that these mushrooms can actually be very good for you. Lion's mane more so helps you with your head health. Cordyceps mostly help you with fighting anything in the body and stuff. You can do more research on that, on everything that we've learned so far about these mushrooms, but overall they're good for your health. Also, another thing too is that they're really nice to take with coffee too in the morning, especially if you're not like a 2 cups per person day. You like to keep it at 1, because this kind of helps you to really wake up your head, so that you're not finding that midday nap or anything like that, or needing another one. So yeah, so this is really, really good. Most people who I've talked to have taken this coffee or taken other types of this coffee. Yeah, they notice a bit of a difference after a week or two after drinking it every day. Even if it's your first time taking lion's mane as well, I've heard that people say that they notice it within the day after taking their first one. But yeah, this is it. It's $15.99. So if you ever wanted to try lion's mane and cordyceps coffee, then this would be a pretty good one to try out.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, there's my sales. Okay.
We're not done yet. No, actually, for the explanation on this too, for myself, I can only even drink a half a cup of the coffee because it gives me that much energy type thing. Mm-hmm. So I'm a little bit more sensitive, on that level, but the half a cup is more than enough for me for the day. I used to drink coffee, I guess, a couple of years back, but I kind of toned down on it. I'm not really, I don't know, I guess it upsets my stomach too much and stuff like that. The acidity is really high for me. Yeah. So I kind of weaned off of that and I got on this, and yeah, it's really awesome. So, and I've heard actually even from my sister too, she doesn't have to put too many because it yeah. So nice. My aunt, my sister, everybody got into it a little bit too. So it's everybody's.
Oh, I'm happy to hear that.
It now.
Well, too, and the nice thing about it too is it's not like the coffee that you're gonna buy at Walmart or anything. It's a good type of coffee that's in it. So
it's from Canada too, right? The beans. Oh no, the beans are from.
No, the beans are from a small family-owned farm in, I believe, Colombia.
Yeah.
And then I think the mushrooms come from the States. But then, gosh, it's been so long that I've had to explain this. But then everything gets put together in Canada. In Toronto. So it is a Canadian company. Mm-hmm. But yeah, we source it from from Colombia and from the States.
Okay.
So not too far though. Pretty good.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the other thing too, which was a beautiful gift that I got from Jade too, is I have the necklace here and the earrings, and I'll come a little closer and show it to you guys. Though she made it by hand, and so yeah, I'm just letting you guys know that if you're ever looking for any gifts or anything of the sort, that she can make. She's really awesome, very creative. They're just so beautiful. I'll come up a little closer.
I like your earrings. I'm actually really proud of the earrings. I think that's like the best that I've done it so far.
Yeah, look at these beautiful earrings here, and look at this. I mean, it's really awesome. So I'm just showing it on both here. Yeah, it's a beautiful gift. So just letting you guys know too, if you're ever looking for anyone to do handmade jewelry, we got the beautiful Jade here, and she can hook you up.
I can hook you up.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
So today, since it's the new year and everything, we're thinking of maybe talking a little bit about different things. What we can do in the new year can help us to move forwards, I guess, in life, and bring about a new you, I guess, in so many ways.
Yeah.
A little bit about the Chinese horoscope. I'm not an expert at it, though we were doing a little bit of research, and it was pretty cool what the information that we got out of it. So we'll talk about that too. What's coming, I guess, in the next couple of months, and also something about found out a couple of days ago, which was really helpful for me. For whatever reason, I've been kind of, and I think this has to do a lot with, I know we didn't talk about it, but the, Schumann resonance and stuff like that, it's been kind of like off the charts and whatnot. And my anxiety has been off the charts. It's been like really, really high. And the one thing that's been helping me out a lot is there's these 4 little sayings too that I tell myself, I guess, every morning, or if I'm feeling that anxiety, I just do this type of meditation. So we'll talk about that a little bit later on too. It's just and it's not the Ho'oponopono. It's something a little bit different, but it's kind of like the same. I guess it's similar, but just the wording is a little bit different. So it was pretty cool for that. Yeah, it helped me out quite a bit. So not too sure where all the anxiety is coming from. Don't really care to know exactly where it's coming from. I just know it's popping up. Yeah. And I just have to deal with it. So this, has been helping me out a lot. So we'll talk about that. I know that you're probably a little bit more familiar when it comes to, because you were doing the research on it for the Chinese horoscope. So I don't know if you want to start off with that a little bit.
Let's start off with it.
Yeah.
What is it that we wrote down?
Well, so go ahead.
Okay. So this one's really cool because last year it was a dragon, and this year it's supposed to be the wood snake. And so this is something that only happens when I was researching it, which is really cool. It only happens every 60 years, once every 60 years. So it is a bit of a rare one. The wood represents a lot of grounding energy about personal change, all of that, kind of keeping things to the earth, while the snake is always leading us through creativity and movement, and again that individual work. But so together again with everything that's supposed to be happening this year is that it's supposed to be a very transformative year. So when I was researching it, what I was saying is to first of all be more go with the flow than you have been in the past, which means don't be too stubborn when changes are occurring and just allow it to kind of move through it. This is going to be a year where even in the horoscope said it too, not just Chinese numerology, that this is supposed to be a year of great success, and this is supposed to be the year that hard work pays off. So if you're ever working really hard, especially in your career or in your health, that stuff is supposed to be happening. So lots of movement changes, and then in the later part of the year, so halfway through the year is when we're supposed to be hitting more of a kind of a little more of a huddle zone where we're really taking in a lot of introspection and focusing on ourselves and all of that. So the beginning of the year, from what I'm pretty sure of, is a lot of change throughout the year, beginning of the year is really focusing on that hard work and all that movement, and attaining the goals that you want to do. Is also a good time to do collaborations. And then the next half of the year is a good time to do a lot of introspection and to focus on yourself and to go within yourself and kind of figuring out certain things. But yeah,
it's really learning about your values, actually, quite a bit too. So as things progress and we let go of certain whatever it is baggage that we carry, our values can change a little bit also at the same time. So it's kind of getting back into that introspective. So it was the second part of, well, the other half of the year, I guess you can say. That's when it's going to be a lot more of the inner work. So with the inner work too, it's still about letting go, but it's again, it's the word authenticity, I guess, is that word that keeps coming to mind, right? It's just becoming you more and more so as during the year. So and it's also with the, what are we, what does it add up to? 9? Nine. So,
which is kind of cool. Also, another cool thing too is like typically when I look at horoscopes or anything like that, when I'm looking at like how to attain my goals and everything like that, typically what it always starts with is having to do the inner work first and then attaining your goals, like hard work, then attaining your goals. Well, in this way, we're kind of doing the like a switch up to it where it's like hard work, goals, and then introspection.
Yeah.
Which is kind of weird. Yeah. That's kind of cool.
That's the change, right? And
that's
adapting. Adapting to that type of change. Yeah. So that's pretty cool. You're right.
Actually, I'm gonna be really happy to like do that and not have to do the inner work first. Like
yeah.
Well, like, obviously there's always inner work, but
last year I think too there was a lot of turbulence, and there was already a lot of inner work. So it's almost kind of like giving us a little bit of a break at the beginning of the year.
Which is nice.
Yeah, and setting maybe new goals, or just having a different view of what it is that you want in life, and then afterwards again working in the inside and attaining that goal type thing. So
I'm like, I'm like really feeling it like right now. Like I'm ready. I'm so ready to work so hard and like attain all my goals and everything like that.
You have the energy.
All the energy. Yeah.
Actually, what came to mind too, and I don't know if you want to do this. I know I'm springing this on you.
Oh no.
But while we're talking about this, New Year and stuff like that, maybe we can do the cards actually right away and just see what's coming within this year. You can do the three spread. So
okay, let's do that.
I'll place this on the side instead of doing it at the end, or just doing it for the week. At least we can do it for the year and see what comes about it. It gives a little bit of a different perspective on that. So as we were saying too, I think it was in February, they're mentioning about the new energy surge.
Oh yeah.
And the spiritual change. So this year too it has to do a lot more with spirituality, not necessarily with the material. As last year, I think it was more, through abundance of material, finance, and a lot different types of stuff. This year, it's really working much more on the spiritual part of you type thing. So, so I'll let you. Yeah,
that'll be nice. Okay. Yeah. So, what's the question that I should say?
So, it's just knowing a little bit about what the year will bring forth for all of us type thing, and as a whole.
Yeah. Okay. What is 2025 going to bring forth for the whole collective?
Oh, and she's using the card deck, Path of the Soul. Oh. Trying to remember who it was from.
See, I feel like I should only bring out 2. I don't really feel the need to bring out any more.
Okay, cool.
Yeah. Did you want to show them the deck?
Yeah, sure. So it's the Path of the Soul. That's the one that we're using today. And so
I love this so much.
I know, right?
Okay.
It's beautiful, yeah.
Right. So the 2, and this is underneath.
Oh, Buddha. Nice.
Like a Buddha, I was gonna say it is 3-3.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. The masters are with us then. Okay, cool.
Right. every time I think about 3-3, I always think about Jesus.
Oh yeah.
Like the 3 vertebrae or the 33 vertebrae and like the
Yes.
year and everything.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
True.
Okay. I love this. So again, I think there's 2 areas to it. The first card is 23, and it kind of looks like that. You can see. Very nice. The first thing that popped out when I was looking at it was it looks like a star now, but when I first saw it, it looked a lot like an eagle at the top, like flying in right there.
Oh yeah.
So then again, that makes me like think about like higher intelligence and looking at things from a higher perspective and really bringing that focus in when we're trying to make change. It really feels like, gosh, there's so much in these cards.
I know.
You really have to tap into how it like makes you feel and everything, because that has like a lot to it. Like there's so many colors in it. There's so many things like changing and so many things happening at the same time. So I think that's why it's really calling on us to be okay with change, because I think that it may to us seem like chaos, but in reality things are falling into place, and we just have to allow it to fall into place, which is just finding wherever the universe is moving us through those changes. There's like little sparks all throughout the card, so I think there's going to be a couple little sparks of joy, like maybe things that you thought would never happen, or just little moments of just pure joy is going to be happening throughout this year as that change happens. And I think that's how you're going to know that's unfolding correctly and that you're on the right path, because we always want that reassurance, because sometimes it's scary without it. With that said, to me this feels like a portal, like you're going in through the bottom, coming out like the top or something like that.
Okay.
So don't worry. I wouldn't say don't worry too much on what the path looks like. Worry more so on the feeling of it. This is going to be a good year for, I think, the heart chakra, which represents, because all grounding and everything. Green is grounding, but it's also healing. But yeah, I feel like this year is going to be filled with a lot of portals in the sense of like making fast changes and fast shifts in our life. That's what it really feels like. It feels like a lot of big energy. So much energy in that card. And then it also has a 2-3, which I mean like 2 + 3 = 5, which is all about change.
Change, yeah.
And then we have 2 and 9. This is just love. Like this makes me think about like an egg splitting, you know what I mean? Like and like twins coming. I don't know if that's just because my sister's having twins, but like I'm just like that, like this just feels like a lot of pure, very feminine, very light type of love.
Growth.
A lot of growth too. Yeah, a lot of growth in how we've I'm thinking about Natalie now, and I'm thinking about like twin flames and stuff like that. Maybe this will be a good year for twin flames.
Probably, yeah.
But I also feel like, I feel like there's just like a unison coming through and like things making sense and things coming together. And it's kind of like an unfolding of sorts. And seeing different sides of ourselves. Oh, I know what it means. I feel like that's like showing like love to the other sides of ourselves. You know what I mean? Because I mean, it's easy to like love yourself and love the good parts, but it's a lot harder to love the nasty parts.
Not
like
so
to
good,
say,
yeah.
not so good. But then this is so cool because then like this, like right here, kind of looks like a snake at first, but then it also looks like a cow. I don't know if that makes sense. Does it?
Okay. Oh yeah. Okay. Now I see what you mean. Okay.
Right? When like, what do cows even? I mean, in some cultures, they are considered to be very, very important.
Yeah.
They also have 3 stomachs, which means that they're pretty good at digesting life.
That's true. Yeah, you're right. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, I think this love is coming through from doing that digestion, focusing on ourselves, bringing out that love. Yeah, I think this is what the beginning of the year is gonna look like, and I think this is what the end of the year is gonna look like. Oh, it's so like delicate and so like nice.
It is.
It's not like too much. It's not like it's like pushing or anything. It's like you're just like falling effortlessly into just love. Oh, I love love.
True.
Love. This is the card, by the way. If anybody wants to see, there you go. Right?
Yeah, it's very
so
pink.
Pretty?
Yeah.
Right? What are you getting from that?
At the beginning of the year, it's I still see, I guess it's like a mirroring effect type thing, the introspective, like you say, you're seeing the other side of you. It's not just seeing the good side of you, but just you're going to be working on you quite a bit type thing. So you're like, trying to accept everything that's in front of you, or that's within you actually, because everything in front of you is within you, right? So even us standing here in front of you, it's just a part of you that you're seeing in the outside at the same time. So it's just realizing what it is that what you're wanting. So you say with the eagle, like I see more like when I forgot what they're called, those flowers that when you blow on it, it just kind of like it just got the seeds, it goes away. I can't even remember.
It's not a dandelion, but it's
No.
like
Is it dandelion?
Is it a dandelion? I thought that we call them when they're
yes, when they're sprouting. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Dandelions. That's it. Okay. That's what I see. It's almost like it's spreading. You're almost spreading different little seeds a little bit all around within your life type thing. Yeah, because I see it all here. Like all the little dandelions. It's almost like it's all the little seeds, or like everything is just kind of coming within you. The different introspectives and stuff like that, different ideas, different whatever it is that you're working on with yourself. It's you're downloading it basically. A lot of downloading at the beginning of the year. And in the center, it has a lot of yellow type things. So it's kind of like bringing in all the joy, all the things that you had forgotten about yourself. It's kind of like coming back in, the creativity and all that. So it's working a lot on that. And then afterwards, yeah, with the pink, I see kind of like it's a bit like an 8 type thing. So the yin and yang, I guess, in life, it's kind of like coming all together by the end of the year. You're starting to realize exactly if you're looking for your purpose or anything of the sort, it's really coming in balance basically, and coming all together for you by end of year. A lot of joy, a lot of love, not only from the outside, but from obviously the inside. Yeah, I think that's what I'm getting actually out of it mostly. So
I like it. Because here it seems like a lot's going on, but it just kind of smooths out by the end of the year.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's true. Eh?
It's like
it's almost very heavy at first.
Yeah.
But then
it's like all the change that's happening.
All the changes, exactly.
Yeah. Which is so nice. And then, as I said at the beginning, the card that was underneath, which I love, was Buddha. Oh my gosh, I love it so much. So many like little Buddhas all throughout the photo. But yeah, and it was 33 here, which is like a master number, which I think is just confirmation that this is going to be a good year filled with a lot of work and a lot of good things.
Make sure to stay within the compassion for yourself.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because there's a lot of like pink, red, and purple in this card, and white. And then you have the green on the outside again.
And greater connection too at the same time, right?
Yeah.
Because of all the work basically that we'll be doing this year, it brings in even better connections and stuff like that. But always stay within the compassion. Always remember that what we consider as failures are not really failures. We're just growing from everything. So just take it in, let it go, and continue on type thing. So we can actually see also, yeah. We can also see what she says in her book. It's number 23. They're just little sayings in here. So for the first one that we showed you here, it's called magical. Embrace the magic within all of your day-to-day experiences. Think back to the days of childhood when anything could happen. Begin to expect the unexpected. Many small yet wonderful surprises are coming your way. This is the calling of the universe to return to childlike wonder and belief that anything can happen. Look for the magical in the mundane, and watch as life transforms from the ordinary into a mystical adventure of the unexpected. That's so cute. Very childlike, yeah. And
yeah, it is actually with all the colors.
yeah. I guess now I can see, a little bit more like a fairy-like object in that's flying right there type thing. And the other one is a 29, and it is friendship. This is a great amount of love and support available to you. Friendship, represented by the infinity symbol, is forever. Trust the bonds you have created with others. Know that the greatest gift you can give is your friendship. It is in giving that we receive the most. Offer your support where you can, and remember to ask for support when you need it. Your friends are the very souls you have chosen to journey with in this lifetime. They are important. They are an important part of your growth and learning. Yeah, obviously, yeah, it's true. Like, always remember to ask for help type thing. You're not alone. If there are any challenges or anything of the sort, always reach out type thing. So that's one thing that we kind of forget to do. At least I do from time to time. So friends and family, they're always there, to help and support you and stuff like that. Always hang around with people that bring you that joy, basically. So
brings you that love. That makes you feel loved.
You feel loved, yeah.
I like that. That's like so well said.
Yeah. No, that's really beautiful. Thank you for doing that. Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Aw. Wait, 2 things I wanted to say.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. One, downloads. And then the other thing was like the whole friendship thing. But like first with the downloads and everything, you were talking about like getting downloads like throughout the year and everything. Mm-hmm. Okay, when you said that made me think about like, when you're like I've talked to other people and they've had the same experience too. Like you could be sitting like reading a book and suddenly you just like get a download. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean, from the universe, and it's just like some information that you're just like, oh, this makes sense now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Elaborate on it. Does that happen to you quite a bit? Has it been happening to you more?
Probably more so, yeah, in the last little bit.
Okay.
It helps a lot when you're not, stressed out or anxious or anything. Like you're not feeling the anxiety and stuff. When your head is clearer, you really receive those downloads a lot easier. For me, I just receive it more. Well, I guess when I'm close to sleeping.
Okay, yeah.
Because, at that point, you're like, okay, finally shutting off type thing. And then all of a sudden, I hear the ringing in my ear, and then I'm like, okay, all right. And so I'm listening. Or I'm just seeing the visions that are coming to me. So those are the type of downloads that I get. But I don't know, everybody else has kind of like different versions of it. But for sure, especially if you're focusing on one thing, then the download will come in easier too at the same time. It's not like your mind has to be completely blank. It's just that when it's all over the place, that's when it becomes a little bit more challenging. It doesn't come in as easier type thing. Or it's not even that, actually. It's always there. It's just that you're not seeing it or you're not hearing it, and because you're so distracted and stuff like that. But that's how it comes for me. I don't know about you.
I was gonna say, well, like when you said like it like happening right before like you go to sleep and everything, what's been happening lately is like I feel them like tickling my head.
Oh,
you know what I mean? And like
cool.
I don't really like think about anything. I just like fall asleep to like them like tickling like the top of my head and everything like that, and just like letting it come through. But yeah, like it feels like somebody's like playing with their fingers on top of my head. It's like playing with my hair, and then which has been happening quite a bit. So I just like I'm like, oh, they're trying to tell me something. I can feel it. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
And do you usually kind of cap it when whatever it is trying to let you know something? Like, do you get the information fairly easily? Do you know what it is, or does it take some time sometimes, or I don't know?
Yeah, sometimes in the past I'll ask for it and be like, okay, just tell me to it. Sometimes it'll come through my dreams. Lately when they've been doing that though, I should probably ask them, be like, I'll probably like stop being like, oh, this is so nice, I'm gonna fall asleep, and probably be like, okay, what is it? And like listen. But like you know what I mean? They'll tell me either way, no matter how long it takes me, they'll still tell me. But yeah, well sometimes I get them throughout the day too. But I just wanted to talk about that. And then you saying that just kind of reminded me of them doing that before I go to sleep, which lately I have been having very realistic dreams that have been telling me a lot. We already had this conversation. You gave me that card reading.
Oh yeah. Yes. Okay.
Yeah. I've been having a lot of realistic dreams of meaning like a whole lot this year, and I've been doing a lot of introspection by listening to them and stuff like that. Which is so cool because the more you listen to them and the more you're aware of them, the more they make sense. And then suddenly, what's been happening, which is like so crazy, going on a little tangent, but sometimes I get this thing where like my dreams get really, really real, and I'll get like deja vu from it, or like things will happen in the next day in correlation to the dream I had before.
Okay.
And I know it will like mean something because it'll be like something like very rare, like oh, I was getting my coat or something, and there was something that was happening in that moment of I think it was my boyfriend. He was asking me for something, and it was like I think to pass him something or something like that, or like a question. But it was the exact same thing that happened in my dream. It's like I dreamt about doing that last night because I could remember. I was like, this happened pretty close to what happened last night. So then I knew that was important what he was asking for. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
And it was like anyways. I gotta follow that again, but it's really cool when that starts kind of happening because then you keep on listening to it, and it's like a little cheat code.
A little cheat code, yeah. It's to be more attentive to whatever it is that he's either asking for or doing or whatever. Yeah, that's true. Well, that's pretty cool.
Right?
It's getting stronger and stronger that way. Okay.
Right? Like, isn't that crazy? Like, it kind of like I'm like, of course, like I believe in all this stuff like this, but then when it actually happens, you're like, oh fuck.
That's true.
It's just different when you
true.
experience it.
Yeah, I haven't. Well, I had a couple of deja vus, I guess, a few weeks ago, but not through the dreams. It was just a feeling of like this already happened type thing, and I hadn't had that in a long time actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I had stopped for a little while, but I think it was just with all the stresses going on in the last couple of years. Like I said, you shut down, right? You don't really feel as much. It doesn't really come to you. But this past year, it's been kind of coming all back, and it's pretty cool. Actually, even the tingling that you're talking about on the head.
Mm-hmm.
I remember one night. So it wasn't a tingle at that point. I was actually massaging my head, and really? I love massages. Like my favorite thing is head massages. I don't care about the body, but the head, like I just really love it. And I started feeling it, and I'm like, I was trying to enjoy it, but at the same time, I'm like, holy smokes!
Like who's touching me?
So I was like, okay, I don't know if I should continue this way or I should stop it or whatever. But eventually, I think I just fell asleep, which is what I needed because my sleep has been a little bit erratic and stuff like that. And anyways, it was just interesting that you mentioned about the tickling. So that kind of came to my head too at the same time. And so it does happen more and more when you really start working within yourself and you start realizing and feeling everything around you. So it's pretty cool.
Did you figure out who was massaging your head?
No.
Well,
just leave it there. Yeah, just leave it there. Yeah, I know. I didn't really try. Sometimes when you're just in that moment, and then you're trying to think, who is this and blah, blah, blah. I didn't mind and I didn't really care too much to know who it was. I just knew that it was a good feeling and it wasn't, anything heavy or anything of the sort. So I said, okay, all right.
We'll go with the flow then.
Go with the flow, yeah, I know. At least I didn't have to pay for the massage.
Right?
So it was good.
Yeah, it's crazy how they can do that.
Definitely.
Yeah, I'll have to stop doing that because every time like something like happens like close to that, I'm always like, who's up? Like it takes me like a little second to like to not be on like high alert. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Definitely. Actually, even I had a friend of mine that her daughter, she had a little bit of an experience. I guess she has like little kids, I guess, at her house and stuff like that. And the children have passed away, but they still kind of roam around in her home. And so she was asking me, how to work with that. And so just as a little explanation for you guys too, if you feel anything like around in your home, in your space or whatnot, the first thing, it's the basic thing actually, is just the meditation. Mm-hmm. And even for me, because my mind was like going 100 miles an hour and all over the place, the one that really worked well for me was called the Silva method. I don't know if you ever heard about that one.
No.
It's simple. It's like just counting backwards from 100 to 1.
Okay.
So what it does is it basically helps you to focus just on the numbers instead of scattering all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
And you will scatter, of course, at the beginning, right? But the end point is just seeing those numbers going backwards. And then you go from 100 to 1, and then you go from, after a week, you go from 50 to 1, and 25 to 1, and then just 5 to 1. And it really, really helps to settle the mind down. And then if you're having all those feelings, or if you have, beings, whatever it is that's around you, you're able to communicate with whatever it is around you. So I just thought I would mention it because it was just something that came up yesterday for me. And yeah, anyways, and it's not about the fact of like shutting your mind completely off. If you don't want to go to that point, you don't have to. But when I was doing that Silva method, actually, which was really nice, is that even in between each number, I was getting into that gap of nothing. Like nothing was coming. No thought process was coming. So it was really nice, actually. And then when I got into the 5 to 1, of course, you get into that deep mode really quick. And again, I do remember when you are in that void, it's a little bit scary at first.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, what the?
Well, yeah, because you're going into the unknown. You know
The
what
unknown,
I mean?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
But after a while, you just tell yourself, okay, like calm down, and you're just breathing and breathing to get that fear out of your system. And it's amazing. It's the most like blissful feeling ever, because you're just within you. And then you're thinking, why the heck am I afraid of me? Like I'm within myself and I'm scared of it. And I'm like, this is weird. I'm like, why would you be scared of you?
Yeah.
So once you realize that, then you just sit in there and it's amazing. Yeah. It's really, really cool.
Wow. I didn't even think about that. Yeah. You're literally just sitting with yourself and it's like fearful. Wow. That's crazy. Has anything ever happened to you while you've been like meditating? Like things like happen in the room? Like things kind of like twist or turned, or like something happened?
Yeah, well, I mean,
so I also have a story for you after this.
Okay, yeah.
Which I want to know what you think it means, but I want to hear you first.
I guess with the last practice that I learned with the universal energy, I told you that you meditate with your eyes open. So when you say that if you feel or you see, yeah, for sure. I mean, the walls are like almost like disappearing, like, or you see the waves like really big, things like that.
Oh yeah.
Things like that. Yes, I do. I'm just trying to remember with my eyes closed. It's more of an introspective, like I'll see colors, I'll see things like that, but not necessarily nothing like super big kind of came out of it. I mean, at one point when I was doing the Silva method, actually, and that's what snapped me out of it again. Yeah. Because you know how you go kind of back and forth. You do your meditation, you stop. You do the meditation, you stop.
Yeah.
Once I got to that gap, then all of a sudden, I saw I saw the face of Jesus in front of my face. Like he was right there, right in front of me. But it wasn't the face that caught me off guard necessarily. It was the energy that was behind it. It was so strong that it almost knocked me out of it completely.
Oh.
So I kind of like it pushed me out
like
of
personal
it.
space. Like.
Yeah, no. I don't know if it was personal space or if it was really strong, and it like shocked me, and I got out of it. And again, a bit of that fear kind of set in, and so I didn't continue with it. But I'm sure that if I would have continued, it would have been even more amazing. Anyways, now that I'm talking about it, it would be good to actually get back into it. So but that's my experience on that. What was yours?
Well, mine was like a little bit different. Like obviously I've been trying that technique, like doing it with my eyes open. Yeah, like I can see like the shifts happening in the room, and like the subtle like color changes, and like things will start to get really, really dark and then really, really bright again. But one thing that why I was like very happy to start meditating with my eyes open and everything was because like again, there's always that fearful thing, like closing my eyes and be like, it's in here, you know what I mean? Because you can feel energy and stuff like that. One time this was back in high school, and I started getting really into meditating and stuff. This is what came to my mind, which is why I had to ask you, but this is funny, is that I was meditating and I was laying on my carpet on the ground, and I was facing the wall. I was a little bit far back though, like I wasn't like nose to the wall. but on the other side of the wall was the washroom. Anyways, I was home alone. I think my mom had just gotten home while I was in the midst of like the meditation, and I was meditating and I was just like playing around with like my chakras and feeling the energy and like making it super expansive and bringing it down and like all the stuff. And I believe that like everything happens for a reason, and especially when you're meditating, the things you do has an effect on the area around you and stuff like that, or things will try and get your attention and stuff like that, because they're like, you're so calm. And I heard this huge like bang on the other side of the wall, and I was like, anyways, freaked me frick out. I went and I like climbed into my bed, and I was just on top of the bed, and I was just like, okay, too much, because it was like a huge bang, and I was like, what the heck? So I called my mom, and because I was genuinely like so afraid of how loud the bang was, and it was right in front of my face. That I called my mom, and I was like mom, like I'm freaking out and everything. And oh right, she was on her way home. She wasn't home yet. And I was like, I heard this huge bang, and like I was meditating, like I don't know what to do. I'm in my bed, like I don't want to go outside my room. Like what if somebody was there? What if somebody dropped something?
Yeah.
And my mom was like, okay, just like calm down, I'll be home soon. And then she got home, and like pretty fast, and as soon as she came down to the basement, she was like, what the fuck? And then like she started like going into the washroom, she yelled for my name and everything. And right in front of like in my washroom, the little thing on the side of the toilet that hooks into the wall, which is like gives like the water and everything.
Yeah.
It burst.
Oh.
It burst, did a whole bang, it hit the wall, like it just went poof, like it just burst, like flipped off. And luckily it wasn't like drywall right there.
Yeah.
But yeah, and then that was the sound that I heard, and basically water had been gushing into my basement as I was like on my bed, so scared, because I was like, what is that? What was that noise? Like that was so loud.
Yeah.
My mom, being the handyman she is, like turned it off, and then like we got a whole bunch of towels, and we had to put like a fan, we had to clean up all the water and everything like that.
Yeah.
But that's what I was thinking, because that's one time where I was like, why did that happen during my meditation? And like, even though it's funny that was my toilet, I'm still like, oh my god, like that means something with like the water, the flow, the energy, like that happened for some reason, like something wanted me to out of that meditation and stuff like that. But yeah, so instead of seeing like faces and stuff like that, it's more so like things changing in my environment, I find. But anyways, that's the story.
yeah. Well, no, it's because when you were even talking about with your chakras, you're expanding it and you're retracting and expanding, like you're practicing on that part.
Yeah.
We don't really realize it, but the amount of energy that comes out of that will affect the things around you, right?
That makes sense.
So I mean, for you, this was water, so it's an emotion. So something that emotionally you let go of, that you at that point in time, whatever it was. Of course, like you said, you were expanding and you were retracting. So that's like a lot of it's just a lot of energy, just in that basically. So whatever you were doing, for a lot of people, it's the breathing, right? The breathing is what kind of moves everything like around within the system, but out within the system. But you were doing it on the chakra level, so you were doing the exercises of doing that. So whatever it was that you were holding on, it could be anything, from childhood, or it doesn't really matter what, but whatever it was keeping you not trapped, but I mean it was staying within you, and that point in time you really released it. So it's nothing to really be afraid of, but obviously sometimes it can cause a little bit of ruckus around us type thing. But that's okay. I mean, it was fine. It was an emotional something, almost like a cyst. Emotional cyst is what it is.
Emotional cyst. That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
It's just
a lot of bang and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Definitely.
Now I have a little bit more introspection on that.
You just have to remember what it was that you were maybe going through at that point. What was causing emotionally? What was the what was the core problem within your system emotionally that was causing so much pressure and stuff like that? So
Yeah,
Mm.
I'll have to look back on that. I think at that moment, because like I always have my reasons for meditating, and everybody does for why they are. And I think at that time, that was when I was working really, really hard on releasing anything that I didn't need. Obviously, now I understand that I'm older, that will give you many, many changes and shifts in your life. So you literally just explained this to me. You're like, be careful if you do that. Like,
well, no, I mean, you don't have to be careful, but it's just be aware. That's
just
all
be
it
aware.
is.
Yeah, no, that's the better word for it. But yeah, now I'm looking back on that, and I'm like, yeah, because I think I was 17 when that happened. When I did that, so I was probably in grade 12 that year, which means again because I was releasing so much and trying to release so much. That does make sense now. But yeah, okay. Lesson learned though. I will not play around with my chakras while facing my toilet.
Oh my god,
it's so funny.
It doesn't really matter in the end. Like, I mean, the water will find its way, basically.
Right?
You know, so it's just a release type thing. Yeah. Maybe a pain in the butt for your mom to clean up after the
Oh
mess,
my gosh, yeah. She was like so stunned at the fact, because I guess those things, like my dad was trying to figure out how it broke, because he like those things aren't supposed to break.
I know.
They're supposed to be there forever, you know what I mean? And I think he had told me that a couple years earlier he had changed it out just for the heck of it, just in case, because he's that type of person.
Yeah.
So I remember, my dad was so stumped, he was trying to figure it out. And like on a low level, I was like, I feel like it was me, but I'm not sure.
That's the same thing with the water heating unit, basically in the home, right?
Yeah.
When it bursts. Of course, I know it's due to the fact that it's been there for years and stuff like that. But when it bursts, it's just at that moment in time that person, whoever it is, or maybe the people within the home, that's what's causing even more of that pressure, and it just happens within that moment. So it's not just the use of it; it's the fact of, because sometimes you can have a water system and it's only like 4 years old, and all of a sudden it bursts. Well, why would it burst? There was a lot of emotional stuff within the home, and it needed to get out, type thing. So
that makes sense, because I feel like things break in the house, but I feel like that's always like it's happening then and there for like a moment, you know what I mean, for a reason.
Yeah.
It's funny how those things can be affected, especially water.
Yeah, and I don't know this by heart by any means, but I know each section of the house has a different meaning to it too. So it'll reflect on different parts of you. So
really?
Yeah, if it's the attic, then this is assumption right now. I have to look into it a little bit more. Maybe that's something actually we can talk about next time. But let's say even with the vehicle, same thing. When there's certain parts in the vehicle that aren't working, it's within your system too. That's having the issues and stuff like that. So, yeah. Well, that's a lesson learned, I guess. But
that makes something too. That's another thing talking about the vehicle too, is that I've learned that like your vehicle, like it's not a living thing, but it takes on the energy that you bring into it.
For sure.
And so it's like one of those things, like if you're mean to your vehicle, like, it won't last long. And if you say that you feel unsafe in your vehicle, it will show you that.
Yeah.
So that's what I started doing lately, is because like a friend of mine told me that they're like, you have to give good energy to it, because at that time I was having all these like near miss like accidents and stuff like that, that I was like, this is ridiculous, like and that I started just like showing it so much like love and everything like that, and started being like, oh, I feel so safe in this vehicle when I drive it. Like, I literally would put my hand, I'm doing this, but I would put my hands over the dashboard and I'd be like, I love you so much. And then what I actually found was that it actually kind of changed, like my energy, like my emotions would shift as soon as I went into the car.
Okay,
when I step into the car, and like I haven't had any of those like near misses or anything like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's funny how it changes once you go into it. And I haven't had any problems with it, and that's all because the last car I had before that, I was so mean to it. Like, now that I realize, I was like, I probably like it. No wonder it broke down on me like all the time. I was on a trip back from somewhere, and it broke down on me like, what was it, twice in like a 20-minute drive. Or no, it was from Sundre to, no, it'll be a lot longer than that. So it was from Sundre to Cochrane. It broke down on me twice.
Oh, wow.
And I was just like, I'm doing it.
And then you got to remember too, if you're able to cause that issue to your vehicle
Yeah.
in a negative sense, imagine what you can do in a positive sense, right?
Right, because it's so much more powerful. Like love is so much more powerful.
No,
Yeah.
definitely. Well, I mean, both are equal as love as hate, right?
Really?
Well, the two extremes,
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah,
Because hate is love.
Oh,
It's kind of it's hard to explain, but it's just the polarities. It's the two
makes
extremes,
sense.
right?
yeah.
So if you can give that much energy of the hatred of your vehicle or whatever it is to the person and cause that much damage to them, imagine how much, it would be in the positive sense or in the loving sense to the people and stuff like that. So
Yeah, duality always gets me like that. And the
yeah.
fact that if you go into one extreme or the other, you're still as close as to the other extreme. You're just even closer to it. And that's crazy that like
That's why
no matter how far you go, you're still connected to the other side.
Yeah.
That's actually nice to know though.
It's good to remember.
Right?
And that's what we forget.
Well, I mean, that's so nice because, like, no matter how, like, hard your emotions get and, like, how much, like, I don't know, at one point you gave so much hate out to yourself in the world, like, you're still so connected to love in that moment. Oh, that's nice. That's nice to know.
Yeah, I know.
That's good. Oh.
No, that's pretty awesome. Was there another thing that you said that you wanted to talk about? So there were two things. I'm not too sure if
I
you
can't remember.
It's
now.
okay. Yeah, no worries. It's okay. Yeah. So yeah, anyways, I think that was actually the conclusion of everything. Oh, yeah, the one last thing that I want to let you guys know is, so it's changing a little bit of the subject, but for the new year too, it's nice to, like I said, to have that compassion for yourself and not being so hard on yourself when you're going through the tumultuous times and you're just feeling down or you're being hard on yourself or anything of that sort. I've noticed that for myself. I found this online. I can't even remember where exactly. It was on YouTube at one point. But when you say these 4 different little sayings, you stay within your heart zone, basically. And let's say you're feeling that anxiety, you're feeling that depression, whatever it is that you're going through. When you keep repeating these out loud at first, then within your head, there's no specific amount of times, like you can say 3 times out loud and then whatever amount of times within your head and stuff like that. It really helps to zone you out of that hatred or sadness or whatever it is that you're feeling at that moment. And the 4 things that you tell yourself is, I love myself, I trust myself, I value myself, and I honor myself. When I was saying those things, it was really, really actually helping me to kind of zone out, especially when I told you now with the whole anxiety thing that I was kind of going through. As soon as I was saying that, not even 5 minutes, it was completely gone. And it was really awesome. So I thought I just want to share it with you guys on that part. Yeah.
That's really good. That's good to know right now too, because again, it's going through that whole shift, but also like being in Canada, no sun,
no sun. Yeah, I know.
Vitamin D, hibernation. Like this is a very can be a depressive time in the year if you allow it to be.
Yeah, this year was a little bit more challenging for some reason.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
For me, anyways, it was the end of the year, like the last week of December, first week of January. I sometimes was almost going into that depressive mode. But the thing is, we do have sun here and whatnot. Like, I mean, Calgary,
right, yeah.
In Cochrane and stuff like that. I can only imagine in other areas.
Oh my gosh, like in Edmonton. I'm like, you think you guys get nothing during the season? Like, oh.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
But no, this year's actually was better for me.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just because I had more tools and I had more awareness around myself that like it wasn't as bad this year. Like I knew, and I made shifts in my lifestyle too because I knew that it was going to be getting a lot more darker, and I knew how I acted through at this time that I made those shifts early on in like September, October in preparation for this time. So I think that's what actually helped me a lot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Which is like the different things, which is like I got a yoga membership. Although I really didn't go this month, but I tried to, and like I stopped drinking as much and like doing that things and just taking more time for myself.
Yeah.
And like keeping that balance of like staying busy, but also taking that time for yourself.
Yeah.
Which is cool, which is actually kind of nice because it actually taught me a little bit more lessons, but about the giving to yourself too and everything. Oh, that's the thing, like being in balance with that. It's so easy to get out of balance until you realize that you're out of balance.
Yeah, true. Actually, it made me realize that sometimes I think I had too much time to myself.
Oh, really?
So I was like, I had to deal with certain things and certain emotions, and sometimes it was really overwhelming. So,
well, yeah, they say that the emotion that comes up when you're very, very still and like you don't need to be doing anything is that emotion that you need to work through.
Yeah.
So, yeah, because people will busy their life because that emotion comes through when they stop. Which is good. Again, that was a good thing to know coming into this.
Oh, no, that's awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
Was there anything else that you wanted to mention before we go? Actually, maybe I don't know if anybody wrote anything. I don't think so.
Nobody wrote anything.
No, it's all good.
Did anyone write there? I think it's just people saying, "Hey, they're here. Hey, they're not."
Yeah, I think so. I don't have my glasses, but I think so.
I think we're
you
good.
can see better. Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think so.
Well, thank you again for being here with us. Again, we're going to be here every Monday. So if there are any topics and stuff like that you guys want to hear about or just have a little bit more knowledge about, just let us know. And yeah, we'll work on it and work on the next sessions and stuff like that to bring that out for you. So this was really super. This is really nice to have you back in the new year, and this is really cool.
We're starting this off well for the new year.
Yeah, I know, seriously.
Yeah,
definitely. So
okay.
I'll just play the bowl just a little bit, and then we're just gonna say goodbye. Hopefully you guys can hear it. I know I'm a little bit of a distance away here, so I'll try to. Thank you again, guys. And we'll see you next week, I guess, right?
Yeah, we'll see you next week.
All right, take care. Ciao.
Bye. That one.